Hey guys, it's Deanna here with Deanna G Photography, and I am a portrait and lifestyle photographer here in the Orange County, California area. And I love helping my clients look and feel their best in front of the lens so that they can cherish those images for a lifetime. So I don't know where you guys are tuning in from, but if you could drop me a line, and if you are watching on the replay, maybe drop me a hashtag replay. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about where to pose your hands during your next photo session. So I did a live last week and gave some camera tips about how to look and feel your best in front of the camera. And one of my viewers had given me this suggestion because she really struggles on where to place her hands when she's being photographed. So it's interesting because I was doing a little bit of research and I found out that there's an actual psychology of our hands, okay? So it's interesting because among all the other species out there in the world, our hands are the most unique. And not only in what they can do physically, but in how they actually communicate and, give nonverbal cues. So, our hands can be extremely expressive tools. I can't speak without using my hands, so you're going to see a lot of that. But it's a way to kind of share our intentions, our emotions. And our hands, they're powerful tools. They can sign to the deaf. The deaf. They can tell a story, they can grasp, poke, punch, they can feel, sense, evaluate, hold, and mold the world around us. Okay, so what are your hands saying about you, right, during a photo session? Well, I'm going to get into a couple of tips on how to pose your hands, and but I also wanted to mention that it's interesting because our brains are hardwired to use our hands to communicate, share our emotions, our intentions, like I mentioned earlier, and our sentiments. And, whether you're speaking verbally or not, our hands reveal a lot about us. So think back to the day when our hands are the first things we use to touch something, right? And our hands were also the first thing when we grabbed our parents' hands for safety, or maybe we used our hands to hold a weapon for protection. So it's this innate thing of utilizing our hands. So it's no wonder that when we get in front of the camera, we're often, we're kind of paralyzed on what to do with our hands because we're not sure, I guess what the story that the photographer is going to tell. So, and actually I just dropped my notes down here. Sorry about that. So I'm going to get into, I have about 7 poses that you can do during your next photo session so that can take the guesswork out of it, of where to put your hands. Okay, so I'm going to start by giving you a hand for where to put your hands. Little pun there, just wanted to throw that out there. So number 1, you want to bend your hands. So this is really powerful because often curved lines are a lot more attractive than straight ones. So if you simply kind of, put your hand, and I don't know if you can really see, but I'm kind of curving my hand on my hip like such. And the more tapered our hands are, the more feminine they're going to look. So if you're a dude, you're going to kind of more spread them out. But, you could put a hand on the hip, or maybe even a little bit down on your upper thigh if you don't want to have that total posy look with your hand on your hip. So that's one pose that you could do with your hand, while the other one could be resting down by its side, okay? Now, the second thing is probably one of the more, popular ones, and that is to hold something. So this is really great, to bring props, which can infuse, can kind of get more of the story's intent across. Or, it's great for kids and toddlers. Sometimes they don't know what to do. And if they're holding something, they tend to kind of calm down a little bit. So, and this can also feel the most natural for people, I think, and holding doesn't necessarily have to be with a prop, right? It could be holding, your jacket at the ends here. It could be holding your collar up here. It could be holding another hand, somebody else if you're doing a family session, hold your husband's hand, hold your daughter's or son's hand. So those are really, natural ways or places to put your hands, okay? So let's move on. Number 3. Now, you can loosely put your hands in your pocket. So it's a very casual and more relaxed look when people do this. You don't want to be stiff in there because you're going to end up kind of, intensifying your upper body and you're going to look really rigid. So just loosely put them into your pockets. Now, I know some kids and some guys, they kind of have sometimes those faux pocket, jean pockets that aren't deep enough for their, especially for a man's bigger hands to fit inside. So what I always suggest is use the thumbs, okay? But you want to just put the thumbs in the pocket and let relaxed fists hang down. You never want to do this because that's kind of unattractive. So, okay, number 4, if you're sitting down, something that I like that's really natural is just simply resting your hands, the palms of your hands, on the top of your thighs, okay? That can just be a really natural look. You can still kind of angle and curve, or, you know, do a little bit of posing as I'm trying to show you right now. So that's another idea there. And it typically works best when you are sitting. You know, or sometimes maybe if you're kneeling, you could put one hand, if one knee's up and you have one thigh down, you could put one hand, you know, on the top of your upper thigh with the other, you know, forearm kind of resting on the knee. So that's another option. Number 5 is a hand on a chin. You know, this is really great. You know, you could do something like this, or you could even do something like that. Or a lot of times if you want to kind of play up your more playful side, you can kind of frame your face. You can go like this or this. A lot of kids sometimes go like this in a photo shoot, which can be really cute and playful. Number 6, now this one's going to sound really weird, but it works really well. And I call it pretend you're about to pick your nails, okay? So let me explain. So basically, you're going to just bring your hands in front of your belly button. And because my belly button's lower than the camera, I'm gonna show you up here. So it's almost like you're gonna bring your hands together in front of your belly button as if you're going to pick your nails and just kind of relax. So you're just gonna be kind of, or when you're walking, it's a very natural stance. And if I could show you a little bit better, you would be able to see it. Maybe I'll drop a image in the comments below after this video to kind of show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But that's called, you know, about to pick your nails. So that's an easy way just to kind of, you know, rest your hands, kind of have them in a slight pose that looks really natural and uncontrived. And that's what we're always aiming for, okay? We always want to try to relax our limbs, so because that's going to really, you know, show in our portraits. Now, number 7, my last and final tip would be to create a 90-degree angle with your arms and your hands. So a lot of times you can wrap one arm around the waist, and I know you can't really see here because of the camera angle, and you can simply do one hand on your shoulders. So a lot of time you could do something like this, or if this feels a little too, you know, posy for you, or maybe you're a male, you can simply drop your hand down at your side and kind of do one of these, or, you know, straight on or whatnot, but always kind of angle the shoulder a little bit, maybe with one slightly in front of the other and one slightly back, because like I talked about in earlier videos, your shoulders are your widest point, and if you're photographing straight on, that can just be just an unflattering angle, okay? So anyway, I want you guys to give a hand to somebody by sharing this video with somebody that you think maybe could benefit, or you know who has a photo shoot coming up and they struggle with where to put their hands. So anyway, feel free to like and comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day. Take care.